Hello. This is Daisy from Learn Computer Science. And today we will discuss about the loops in C language, rather any programming language. Let's just say there are two people in a room and we want to write a program to get their names and say hello to every person with his name. It's simple. We will take a string with name, ask the name of first person and print his name with hello, and similarly we will ask the name of second person and print his name with hello too. And that's it. But what if there are 5 people in the room? We'll have to repeat the process 5 times. And what if there are 10 people in the room? Then we'll have to repeat the process 10 times. But what if there are hundreds or thousands or even millions of people and we want to get their names? Will we write the same line for hundreds or thousands or even millions of times? No. Never. Here comes the loops. But what are loops? Loops are a way for a program to execute the same code multiple times, instead of copying and pasting the same lines back to back. There are 3 basic types of loops: for loop, while loop, do while loop. Let's first consider the for loop. When we know the number of iteration in advance, for loop is preferred. Defining a for loop requires 3 parts. Included in parentheses after the word for, and separated by semicolons. First part is initialization. We create a variable I, initially set to 0. Here I is just a variable. You can name it to X, Y or anything you want to. And also assign its value to whatever you want to. Do it according to your conditions. Second part is condition. As long as the condition is true, everything within the curly braces will keep running again and again. And the third part is updation. This code is executed at the end of every loop. In this case, we are modifying our loop by increasing the value of I by 1. Now here is also your own desire that how you want to update the value. You can either make increment or decrement or whatever you want. You can even write something like I is equal to I plus 5. Here is the flowchart of the for loop. We first of all make initialization. Then check the condition. Then if the condition is true, it will go to the body of the loop. After executing the body it will update the conditional variable. And again check the condition. If the condition is true again it will again repeat this cycle. But if the condition is false it will exit from loop. And then it will continue to execute the other statements of the program which are below that loop. Here is the example of for loop. Now let's say there are 10 people in a room and we want to write a program to get their names and say hello to every person with his name. It's pretty simple now. Let's explore this code along with the flowchart. First of all we started then for loop and took an initializer variable named I. Here you know we can take any variable and assign it any value we want to. Then it will check this condition. Here it is I is less than 10. It means that the loop will go from 0 to 9, total 10 times. If we write less than or equal to operator, the loop will run 11 times, because 0 is also count as a number in programming. As the condition is true it will execute the body of the loop. The program will say that enter the name of person 1. And get input of his name and then it will say hello along with the name we have given as an input. After executing the all statements of the body, it will execute updation statement. And go to check the condition again. If the condition is true again it will repeat the statements of body again. In our case it will be repeated 10 times. And when the condition is false it will exit the loop and go outside the body of the loop. And then it will execute the next statements of the program. So it was the complete working of the for loop. But let's consider the same example again. What if we don't know how many people are there in the room? Here comes the while loop. While loop is preferred to use when we don't exactly know how many times the code is supposed to be executed. Now let's have a glimpse at the structure of the while loop. A while loop checks the condition it is given. If it is true, it executes the code within the braces, and then checks the condition again. And the process repeats until the condition is false. We write the updation statement with conditional variable inside the loop, so that it is executed every time. Now let's consider its flowchart. it will first of all check the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute the body of the loop and will go to check the condition again. It will remain in this cycle until the condition is false. And when it is false, the program will go outside the loop and execute the statements below that loop. For the example of while loop, let's say there are an unknown number of people in a room. We want to write a program to get their names and say hello to every person with his name. So here it is. Let's check out it's working. We have taken the conditional variable outside the loop, and put a condition in while loop on that variable. As the condition is true for the first time, it will execute the body of the loop. And in the end, inside the body, we are asking to repeat the process if anyone else is there in the room too. In this way the loop will keep repeating till we keep pressing Y. As we press any other key and the condition is false, it will leave the loop and go below. And that's it. By using while we can make an infinite loop. Like if the condition given in while loop is always true, the loop will never break. No, the third and last loop is do while. Do while loop is preferred when we want to run the code at least once, but not sure about more repetitions. A do while loop runs the code one time and then checks the condition it is given. The code in brackets is body, which executes at least once, on every condition. And after that it checks for the condition. Here is the flowchart of it. It firstly executes the body one time, and then check for the condition. If the condition is true, it will go in the body again. And if the condition is false, it will terminate the loop. Not an example. Let's say you enter the room and find someone there, but you don't know how many people are exactly there. Now our program should at least say hello one time after getting his name, because you know there is at least one person there, in the room. And then repeat for all others. Considering its code, body is exactly same as it was in the while loop, but only change is it took before the condition. Afterwards condition is checked. Cycle runs based on the condition. And the loop terminated if the condition is false. The only difference between while and do while is if the condition is false in the beginning. While loop will never execute and do while will execute at least once. So, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please click the subscribe button to get more and latest videos on other C language videos, as well as videos and lecture on other hot topics in emerging fields of computer science and information communication technology.